How was the WFG scam debunked by a snake oil salesman? Well, we're going to cover that in today's video, so make sure to watch it all the way until the end. Hey, this is Lance McGowan with Essential Oils Me, and today we're going to cover how the WFG scam was debunked by a snake oil salesman, according to a commenter on one of my videos, which can be seen right here. Boom, there you go. And then for perspective, I've provided 3 other commenters on other videos that share their perspective to kind of balance things out, because this individual, which is the reason why I'm doing this video, I actually met in person. So very rarely does a commenter that leaves such a, we'll just say, passionate comment do I actually meet in person. But that's another story for another day. But at the same time, I believe it's important to, number one, have a reasonable response, and to provide the other side to the story, because there's always 2 sides of the story. And at the end of the day, if you gain some perspective and understanding, that's ultimately my intent and goal. And at the same time, I get to cover another topic that, is important, which is financial education, which is missing in the whole school system, because that financial education really is what helps determine whether somebody can afford something, or more mindset-wise, say it's too expensive. And that leads into the business that I do with natural solutions for your health, because health is wealth. But if you can't afford it, or it's too expensive, that's a whole other topic too. And before we get into what this individual said, make sure to smash the like button on this video if you learned something new, found it entertaining, or watched it all the way until the end. This helps the YouTube algorithm share it with more people like yourself. And if you didn't like this video, that's perfectly fine too, because I can tell you there's probably going to be some people, especially the individual I'm talking about. Let me know what was, most importantly, incomplete and inaccurate in the comment section below so I can make improvements in the future. Now let's hear a word from our commenter named Chris. Again, that video that he left, that comment from can be found right here. And he started off with snake, in parentheses, oil salesman, warning about schemes and scams. Can't make this up. You better watch your mouth before something gets knocked. I mean, please, language. This is a family channel. Thank you. Stick to lotions and potions, Lance. And then he has the emoji, and then some icon, which I'm not going to repeat. 100, laugh emoji, laugh emoji, laugh emoji. Clear disrespect going on all up in my comment section. It's okay though, because, you know what I'm saying? Here's what I responded back with. I said, thank you for sharing your emojis. Number 1, please watch your language. That's the reason your comments were blocked initially, right? I have a YouTube comment filter that blocks for foul language and straight up disrespect, which I don't tolerate. It's okay to dislike. It's okay to disagree with what I say, but let's do it respectfully is what I'm trying to say, right? You can say, hey, I disagree with what you're saying for these reasons right here. And you don't even have to attack somebody's personhood, how they look, their appearance, or anything by doing that. But clearly this individual lacks that skill set, so we're going to continue. Number 2 of what I said is I speak the truth. If there's something you disagree with or don't like specifically, I put that in all caps, specifically, then let's have a reasonable discussion around what facts are inaccurate, incomplete. Otherwise, you can change the channel. That's right. Nobody's forcing this individual or you or anybody else to be here. You can change the channel anytime, and that's what's nice about the internet. However, some people, they get that digital courage, and it's, I think, very unnecessary, because they move from what may have been seen as reasonable to very unreasonable. He left a response back, and here's what he had to say. He said, though your video may be unbiased and objective, it's not unbiased if you Google the term cognitive bias. I've mentioned that in multiple videos before, but cognitive bias, Google that. Everyone has one, and it's based on what you believe in or how you were raised. But clearly, I'm just providing clarification on that. He goes on to say, I don't appreciate the headline. It's sensationalist, and many people don't even view them. They read the headlines and move on. I don't think you'd appreciate someone driving traffic to their channels and videos by putting your business up as a scam, all caps, scam, in their headlines. I don't appreciate it either. You need to knock that nonsense off and literally, and he put this in all caps, mind your own business. Stick to sharing your oils, lotions, and potions, and we'd be straight. Well, I guess he told me. I guess he told me. So much to say. So much to say. There is a number of signs, which I'm going to cover the acronym SIGN, which stands for shame, insults, guilt, and need to be right. So those are negative sign languages that this individual clearly did. Again, that is shame, insults, guilt, and need to be right. I can see all those in there, on top of them being very unreasonable and telling me what to do. And now, you can do whatever you want. It's a free country, right? Minus the whole censorship going on, you know, with media, social media, on certain things that disagree with their narrative. But when it comes to sharing about financial advice, or clearly what I should be doing, lotions, potions, and oils, I can say I appreciate the strong suggestion, but I strongly disagree with how it was said. And I think there was a much more mature, reasonable way to go about that, besides, hey, don't be doing this, you do this, stay in your lane, you know what I mean? I think a much more reasonable approach, just to provide a solution to all this, because you're probably like, okay, what are you doing, Lance? I think the solution, there you go, that's what reasonable people do. Reasonable people focus on speaking the truth, seeking understanding and solutions. Unreasonable people focus on trying to be right, win, and the other person is the problem. And then also drama to avoid personal responsibility, as the How to Solve Your People Problems book mentions, which I highly recommend checking out. That link will be down below. Anyways, the solution is for them to say, here's what I disagree on. And I mentioned it earlier. These specific things, and then here's why I disagree on those things. Notice that has nothing to do with me, my appearance, what I should be doing, what I shouldn't be doing. It's, here's the points that you mentioned, here's what I agree, here's what I disagree with on those particular things, and here's maybe what I would recommend as a way to resolve some of the issues that I see within the WFG scam verbiage, which you kind of said, hey, don't use the title. But at the same time, I provide information from a pro and anti-MLM perspective, and that title is one way to grab people's attention, but I also explain it in the video so it's not a complete clickbait. If you look at news, television, you know, traditional media, billboards, they use titles that stand out all the time, and they draw you in so you can click on it. Sometimes you feel like, dang it, that's not what that was about, but my video is what that was about. I, or anybody else, could have interpreted their experience with WFG as a scam, bottom line. But at the same time, it wasn't, because I had opportunities that I needed to own myself with regards to skills I needed to learn. And so it went both ways. So that's why on one end it could be, but then the other end it wasn't. And I'm going to cover a second commenter named Aaron. He said, thanks for all you do. Flying monkeys have a way of carrying out speech and deeds of the head evildoer. I have experienced this from both the inside and outside of WFG. Lots of great training and a lot of emphasis on recruiting. Low commissions. Not for everyone. But as far as policies goes, there are better brokerages. So I appreciate that. That was kind of an honest assessment of the company, and here's what I responded back with. I said, I appreciate the feedback. There are definitely bad apples in any company. I'm glad you have the perspective of looking at WFG from the inside and out, and can see the pros and cons, and that it wasn't a good fit for you long term. As you can see in the comment section below, and like to dislike ratio, there seems to be mixed feelings about everyone's experience and how they even interpret what I said. This is one main reason why I wanted to create this video, and others, since I had direct experience with the company myself a few years back and wanted to help others see both sides of the coin more clearly, even if they dislike or disagree with me. Now when it comes to lotions, potions, and oils, I only believe in two of those, which is the oils and the lotions, which doTERRA does provide, and that's the company I'm with. That's the home team I root for, and at this point I'm talking to two people in this particular video. If you're not in doTERRA and open to learning more about how to become a wholesale customer or wellness advocate, then my Natural Solutions for Your Health book on Amazon has been specifically designed for you, because health is wealth. There you go. Investing in this step-by-step system will show me that you're serious about improving your quality of life and willing to to take your health to the next level. The second person that I'm talking to is that if you're in doTERRA already, then I've included other videos and book recommendations in the description area below when it comes to product education or growing your own business. And anyone in WFG or financial advisors in general can benefit from these to some degree as well. Now we're going to go into the third commenter on this particular topic, and this is Elias, and he said, I agree with you. This video is very informative. This video right here that he left a comment on, there you go. There's many people in WFG as brokers that are not as knowledgeable about the products that they are convincing their clients about. I could see that in general, but also other companies as well. Some think the IUL is the best thing since sliced bread. And yes, IULs are great, but only if it was properly educated to the client. An IUL is an Index Universal Life, is a type of life insurance vehicle that gives you different benefits. But also, I mentioned there's some drawbacks to that as well. Diminishing cash value if it's not set up properly. There's also sometimes high commissions for that particular individual, which is okay, people got to get paid, but if you try to withdraw, there's either, withdrawal fees or a lack of liquidity or amount that you get back, and so those are things to keep in mind. They go on to say WFG brokers have the same license as other financial companies and firms, which is important to note. It all boils down, I think they meant to say that, boils down, but it's okay, we are balls deep in this particular topic, so it's all good. They say it all boils down to who takes their work seriously. Some people are in it for the money. That's right, I've experienced those people. And some people are in it for pleasing their client, which I have experienced to a lesser degree. Although there are some cases where agents weren't trained properly, so many different factors to look into. That's true, and that's why I do these videos and provide many different comments from many different people so we can get many different perspectives and come to an accurate conclusion. There you go. WFG is a platform you can utilize to build something great. I really don't understand why is it that the agent didn't do a FNA or a financial needs analysis to help guide him or her to the actual need for the client. Yeah, that's a good point. That may be a formality that was missing, or not emphasized enough as a important, stepping stone. In the end, we will never know what happened. Hopefully the agent and client learns from their mistakes. And that was from the video that I did called Just Canceled Our WFG Life Insurance Policies. And so you can check that out in the description below. And then finally, the fourth commenter was from Brittany, and she provided another great perspective, and she said, I am an associate of WFG. And I just like to say that from my experience, the overall strategy that is promoted is to ask questions and be choosy with who you choose to be on your team, which is good. That is good for that particular team who communicates that. I would say that may not be standard amongst all of them, but the fact that she got that communication is good. She says, I am sorry you had that experience with a pushy agent because that is definitely not what we are trained to do. The agent likely felt strongly it was a fit for you and then didn't listen as well as they should have. But I just wanted to say that not all agents are like that. That could be said with a lot of things. And furthermore, agents are trained to do what you mentioned. That is, ask questions, listen, understand the needs of the client, offer recommendations, and repeat. And yeah, I mean, there's, concept, and then there's reality, right? So that didn't happen with me, so it was kind of just like in that video that I did, they thought I just wanted to do the business. I was hesitant and didn't have the best communication skills at the time to really stand firm in what I wanted to do, and I buckled, became a WFG agent, didn't ever sell anything, I just paid the $100, and I didn't get licensed or anything like that, and didn't become a customer, which that ultimately should be the goal. Is before you do any business with something, it's ideal to become the customer of it first so you understand the benefits and the costs and the needs and the goals of yourself and how they're fulfilled, and like the customer service and the products, if they actually help you, because then how can you give something that you've never got, right? But anyways, some people have a business mindset and they just go straight into the business and they can do it and scale it, which takes a lot. It's more of a rare breed. That's what I'm saying. It's usually people who've been in business or had their own business for decades, typically, and then they just can kind of lift and shift that knowledge base from a sales standpoint and run with something else, especially network marketing, but it could be other businesses as well. Then they go on to say, just the other day, a client decided to not choose my recommendation, but I respected their decision after explaining my reasoning and helped them with what they felt they needed. thank you so much for not being one of those anti-MLM extremists that tried to equivocate one negative experience to reflect the company as a whole. You are awesome. Well, I appreciate them watching the video all the way to the end and not just looking at the title like Chris did and coming to an inaccurate conclusion. And at the same time, I appreciate them for providing a perspective, an educational focus of here's what our team communicates, here's what the company is about, and here's what I do with regards to recommending things for clients. And sometimes it doesn't turn out well, but guess what? Here's what I do, after that. Maybe they do something else and that's okay. Like, that educational aspect is what I really resonate with, and I think this last person, her name is Brittany, I really relate to her comment the most out of all four, because there was a educational piece to something instead of, you need to just stick to your oils, lotions, and potions, you snake oil salesman. It's just like, hey, leave the monster for the closet, okay? Like, we don't need all that. We need educators out here, because financial education is lacking, and so is health education, which is why I focus so much of that on my channel as well. Health is wealth, mental health, physical health, emotional health, financial health, spiritual health. There's a lot of different healths. But that video that Brittany was talking about was right here. It's called WFG Scam, How I Got Hard Sold by My Own Clients and Caved In. Yeah, so I had some opportunities that I need to own, which is another big thing. And no, I'm not an anti-MLM extremist. I've seen videos like that on YouTube. You can probably see them. You just type in anti-MLM. I've covered Reddit posts. They're very one-sided. I try to cover multiple commenters from multiple different perspectives and try my best to be neutral, but at the same time, I do have a home team I root for, and I'm transparent about that, and that's the difference as well. Now, before I end today's video, I want to mention that there's 2 videos on the next end screen that contain more information, and you're really going to love them because they build on the video you're watching right now. Click and watch them when they pop up, and I'll see you in the next video.